All right, hello guys. Hey, what's up, Nighthawk? Sorry guys, I haven't been here the past couple of days. So I wasn't feeling very good. Needed the extra sleep. So I feel a little better today. See what's what. Check out what's going on. And where's my screen with IBD on it? That's not it. Um. mm Oh, that's the screen I want. All right. All right. So let's check out some IBD stuff. What up, Flux? Thanks for joining me today. Ooh, hypersonic defense stocks. Lovely. Is Litecoin pumping? I think, what's up, Blair? Talk about cryptos for a second there. Oh, yeah. Wow. Guess it is going. I was going for a minute there. All right, Litecoin. Okay, there's some nice volume on Litecoin. I was actually looking at, just talk about cryptos for a little bit, Ethereum and Bitcoin, their most recent little pumps here this morning haven't been super convincing. They got failure to move to a higher high. The volume's been lower overall. So I was kind of thinking maybe this is a Head and Shoulders, some kind of a weak throwback with the volume in decline here. But 43 minutes left in the candle. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm overreading that because it's not quite filled yet, the time frame. So we'll have to wait and see. But Litecoin changes that a little bit with that kind of volume. So that's pretty interesting. And yeah, Bitcoin Cash got a second pump. I figured it was going to happen overnight. I went to bed, it was here. But I couldn't be sure it was going to maintain, so I didn't want to take any positions there overnight, at least while I was asleep. Anywho, yeah, a little bit mixed messages in crypto, but it is looking interesting. We got big topping candle on Ethereum pulling us back down. That could be that. That could be a potential or Head and Shoulders coming out of an inverted Head and Shoulders here on the 15-minute. It's kind of been floating higher. Volume's been a little less aggressive, which is not super encouraging, but we're moving in the right direction. So until we really break this 50-day moving average, I think you just kind of have to go with the trend. Looks like late yesterday the market took a turn. See right there, we had higher volume on this day where we sold off, and this day was good though. I did like that day. I think that was Monday. Yeah, Monday looked good. It opened, came all the way back down to the 50-day, and just bounced all the way back through it and closed at a high. That was pretty bullish. I wish volume was a little more elevated, but it is what it is. So it's an okay sign. It's easier for it to get these high volume sell candles than these high volume bullish candles. So that's one thing. Looks like MJ had a kind of pulling back. Volume has been declining. Okay, those are intraday charts. Gotcha. Okay, so we got, I think CCJ. CCJ is another company. I'm not sure if this one's MJ related or not. Okay, you're not going to give me data today again. Well, this should be a fun exercise in futility. Okay, ACHV's up a bunch. It doesn't matter. SEPH. Volume 2. Okay, we're just not going to worry about that. 2 shares have traded and it's up 15%. Like, thanks. DOVA. We have to redo this exercise on TradingView. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's see if that'll pull up for us. Nighthawk Court. Nighthawk's looking at a potential head and shoulders on Court. Let's take a peek if we can do it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna, let me see if I can export my watch list here. Move over to the live. Oh, there we go. That worked. So yeah, threaten to leave you, and you do that. Head and shoulders. I don't see head and shoulders here, Nighthawk. I basically just see a stock, an IPO. So there's a date IPO. There's no head and shoulders here. It's just a failed breakdown, or it broke up and it based and it fell. So it's a failed base. Wow, what's going on? I didn't even put that in there. Didn't even put that in there. Alright, let me see if I can export this watch list. There we go. Yeah, I don't have 26 here, Nighthawk. Am I missing something? Dova, what are you doing? This thing is tripping out. We got the NASDAQ running here a little bit pre-open. That could be interesting. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, the biggest close, if we can close higher here today, if we can get above this high and close, I think that'd be really good. We need a really good day on the NASDAQ. Alright, and this is just pissing me off. Okay, so I got my file. Sorry guys, I'm going to close this. I don't know how this is going to work, but I can't work with that kind of, horrible data. So I want to see, let me get back to there's a paper trading, which I usually work on the paper trading one. I'll work on the live trading one, see if that works. Ooh, so IBD's talking about Cactus. I've got Cactus on my watch list. WHD. Yeah, that's what I've been looking. We've been talking about that one for a while. There we go. I figure their live platform may be a little bit more performant than their non-live platform. And this doesn't have any of my presets in it. How do I import? Oh, it's great if I can't import. It's pointless. Import, there we go. Okay, where's my... Okay, now you just... Oh. Could not add new symbol. Douchebag. Lots of douchebaggery going on here. Sorry guys, this is not fun stuff here. Tech problems are never what anybody wants. And of course it exports it in a format that it can't import it, so it makes a whole lot of sense there. I haven't looked at this watch list in a long time. Oh, did it bring it in? Oh, looks like it brought it in. ZTS, YY, UUU. Okay, it's probably just one symbol or something. PayPal. Cool, I think it got it all. Amazon, Apple. MJ would be one it definitely wouldn't have had before. And it doesn't have that. Cron, TLRY. There's Cron. Okay. Alright, well, we got something. Yeah, these are all my really old ones back when I had a bunch of them. Hey, what's up, Eli? I'm going live here in a little bit. It's just on a different watch list, that's all. Hey, morning, Christian. All right. Brandon, what's up? All right, talk about defense stocks. That's interesting. Let's take a peek at some defense stocks. With the 20, this has the 21 moving average instead of the 50. There we go. Daily 3-year. Okay. Cool. So they're talking about, well, let's go to our pre-market, which opens in a couple minutes anyways. Let's fly through these. Hopefully this data will be more reliable. ACHV, much better. SCPH, CCJ, DOVA, GBR. $26. So it's up here. Coming GNPX. NVCN, IGC. Wow, NVC. A couple of big movers here. PTGX, TK, MSVB, MDGS, CDTI. Tilray got so overextended, probably correct to 50. Yeah, a lot of people thinking $60 on Tilray for whatever reason. They're thinking $60. That's okay. Yeah, it got super extended. It'll just take a while to come back. Facebook looks like a double bottom. Yeah, it looks like it tried to break down that one day, huh? And then just never couldn't quite get there, and then had some. I mean, there's still some big selling volume in here. Nasdaq's still getting a little higher at 0.45%, so that's cool. Market's gonna open here in a second. Literally, there you go. Market's open. All right. What do we got on our? We got cyber. That's responding to an IBD article where they have they're one of the new leaders in the cybersecurity sector. Emmys is an oil play, not gapping up very much. You can see right there. FF. Okay. I like FF right there. That could be a good day for FF. It's super early of the day, obviously, but that could be a really good sign. Whoops. Moves to come here for FF. BE was one that was working great yesterday. Sold off a little bit, making new highs again already today. This is that blue energy we've been talking about forever. Yeah. I really like this base structure out of that. I really wasn't trading stocks past few days at all. I didn't even look at the markets, to be honest with you, so I missed all of that. I did pick up some yesterday, just the stock, though. I think I'm actually hold on to it for a little while. It's behaving really nicely. No, I had to switch to a different profile in this software here. So thanks for giving me impetus to change it back to line or OHLC bars like it should be. Ooh, Apple's up 1.69%. Let's take a look at the market leader right there in Apple. WHD looking not bad down here for a pullback buy. Let's look at Amazon. The two stocks doing the most damage to the markets. Yeah, right there, looking like a very small double bottom situation. If these can, the NASDAQ is pretty much controlled by these two stocks. Add Netflix in there and you get a nice bonus. Yeah, let's look at what stocks control the NASDAQ. Here you go. Only 6 stocks that matter. Absolutely. Amazon, Facebook, Google. Oh, what just happened? What just happened? Netflix, Apple, Facebook, Google, and Gilead. Anyway, doing pretty good so far here today. That's actually a pretty good sign. If you look at Amazon and Apple, they have very similar charts, but if you look at the NASDAQ, it has higher lows on the right side. There's a little kind of declining channel right here that kind of formed. This is an inclining channel. Usually, bearish formations, but this is an index. So I think you treat it a little bit differently, and it looks like the lows are higher over here than it was on Amazon here. Apple's was flat. So that means this, other sectors in the market are being added to up here, which is good. MJ Cron. Yeah, these are going to go through a corrective period. See, I haven't looked at Cron. Kind of poked at MJ a little bit. Haven't really looked at Cron. Excuse me. Yeah, we haven't found a major support after since that spike, so we need to find out where the support's going to be. We have, we kind of have this line here, so maybe Nighthawk's right about that $10 level. Ugh. And then MJ, kind of a similar situation, but obviously there's more stocks involved than MJ. So I think probably... Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, they both need some time to work out. What's your expiration on Cron? if you took that MJ trade with me going out to 2021, I'm not worried about it. Um, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure when Kron's expiring. 4Us. This is that uranium play. That's a beautiful little chart right there. I like that. You got kind of a long saucer with handle. 2030. Okay, that's great. That'd be awesome. That'd be such an expensive option. Quadruple U's here. Not looking too bad. I kind of like that. That's some good basing going on there. Kind of an inverted head and shoulders with a neckline too, a little bit. Amazon up 1%. American Airlines looks like it was chopping up around there. Looks like I had a red day a few days ago. What's the IQ doing? IQ bounced off that 50-day. Need to get my other watch list out here. There's Coors. That's on my watch list. That's up a little bit, but man, that whole that one down day really boned my Coors position the other day. Yeah, a little better, Kevin. What's up, buddy? Yeah, like I said in the beginning, guys. Sorry, this thing is this stocks hours right when I get up, so I really needed the extra sleep the past couple of days. Probably could have used it today too, but I haven't really been active in the stock market at all since, well, I don't know, when was it, Monday? Or last Friday, I don't remember. What's up, Alec? Thanks, buddy. And so far after this big downing, this just looking like a bear flag. Hopefully it reverses and goes higher though on Coors. Um, yeah, I think they sold off on the news that they were going to buy Versace. So we'll see. We'll have to see how that plays out. Kevin asked a question. Is it true that every time the Fed increases the overall interest rate that bank stocks go down? Um, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I don't pay a huge amount of attention to interest rates. Um, like I know about them, but I like to see how the stock market reacts. And I don't look at the financial sector generally. Actually, remember we talked about JPM here, Kevin, that day that it had that big pop. Look at that, nothing after that. Nothing, not even interested. That's interesting. Goldman Sachs, Citi rolled over. Yeah, everything rolled over. Usually they know what the Fed's going to do before they do it, especially the banks. Especially the banks. Because keep in mind, all their old alumni run the Federal Reserve, so I don't think things are that unknown. There's no major surprises in the market, and I think the current Fed policy is fairly. They're slowly ratcheting up the interest rate, which I think is fine, and the market's prepared for that. Um, at some point in time, though, it'll become too much. I hear between 6 and 7%. Not that it means that's when we go into a correction, but that's when the borrowing will start to taper down. Hold on a second. And when those borrowings taper, that's going to be when we see some kind of see the fray through the chaff, if I'm saying correctly, which I don't think I am. It's going to be one of those situations where the housing market may slow down a little bit. Um, Not that that affects banks a whole heck of a lot. They don't do a lot of, home loans. I mean, some of them do. Wells Fargo does a bunch. But I'm not sure what percentage of their business comes from that area. Yeah, Goldman Sachs. Yeah, absolutely. They run the damn world. You want to run the world. An easy way to do that is just to go to Goldman Sachs, and you'll get a position in something if you end up being good enough. Yeah, I thought it was funny that Obama wasn't going to bring in a bunch of bankers, and then he tapped, was it Geithner, his Treasury Secretary, worked for Goldman Sachs for like 30 years. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Trying to appease some of the old guard. And I'm an Obama fan too, so. FF picking up steam, 4%. Let's check it out. Yep, FF was looking really good this morning. And so far doing pretty good. Yeah, the volume there's pretty healthy. I don't have any average volume up here. Let me add that study. Volume, all studies. Volume average. There we go. All right, 50 volume. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so, yeah, pretty much already at average daily volume. This could be a pretty big day for FF if it gets going there. Weekly. And FF coming out of this multi-year trend here, poking itself into new highs. So yeah, that could be interesting. Fire fuel. So Q's up 0.67%. That's pretty good. Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier about trying to get over that closing high. Maybe we'll do that today. That would be great, man. Don't overextend yourself today, triple Qs. I don't know if they put Trump into office. Maybe not. I don't know, but I don't know too many high-power people, at least from what I've seen and heard, that, oh, Square, that was looking really good the other day. No, it wasn't Square. Oh, that's because Square's been jumping on me. There you go. Yeah, yesterday, Square looked great, and I didn't do anything about it. Or not, the day before yesterday. I did look at it a little bit when it was right here. Yeah, I should have jumped on that, to be honest with you. I have seen BE. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit already. Let's revisit BE. Looking pretty good today. Yeah, I haven't been paying attention a whole lot. I saw an article on Square on my tablet. That's kind of why I poked at it. But I didn't see BE make its move here. Kind of out of this, look at that beautiful curl right there. Yeah, looks like it's just going to float up. It isn't going to catch a lot of attention. It's going to be under the radar. But I think this is going to perform very well. Probably get up towards, throwing numbers out, I don't know, 50, $60. Hopefully. We'll see when it pulls back. But like I said, man, I love their product. I love their product. I wish they would. I wish they would sell it to homes. I'd get natural gas piped to my house and I'd buy one. So market's not looking too bad here, guys. Anytime you got a healthy Amazon and Apple, things are looking good. No major topping action in either one of those names. More topping action in the Nasdaq itself than a lot of these others, but yeah, other than that, market's just chopping higher, guys. I like these. I like this quadruple U position here. I will say I do like that. This is one of those uranium plays, if I remember correctly. I mean, 20% is going to be a tremendous amount in terms of dollars. 4.38. It does have some options. 3.5, maybe 0.5. So, yeah, probably not much to do there in terms of options. But that could be, quad U there could be pretty good. That's a beautiful little setup. It's like Tilroy turning a little positive. It's funny when 5% is a little positive. Cyber Cyber gapping today on their IBD article they had. I mentioned that earlier. Mention it again. They had, no, that's the Wall Street Journal. They had stocks open higher as Apple. Top cyber play gets price target hikes. That would be this one. Oh, so maybe it's based on that. But the IBD stocks to watch mentioned CyberArk is a potential leader. Yeah, man, those Israeli companies, some of those guys can just have crazy, crazy good runs. I've noticed that. You've got a good Israeli company, tends to run for a bit. Doesn't get super, super hypey, but it can move really well. A couple of those throughout the years that just worked. So keep CyberArk in mind here. They also mentioned other stocks in the sector. Fortnite, which as you can see right there is already trying to make new highs today after a little pullback, so that could be interesting. PANW, basing a little bit there. QLYS, this whole sector is doing good. That's a nice base in QLYS. Speaking of nice bases, what's WHD doing? Man, still selling off up here. Had these selling candles here. Still having these selling candles up here. This thing just can't get ahead of itself. I got 4 U's there, Blah. I don't have a plus. I just have 4 U's. Right there. Yeah. Let's go to Finviz, see what Finviz has to say. All right, so we got I'll pull Finviz up here so you guys aren't too bored. Oh, come on, man. You're not going to give me my overflow charts? You're killing me. Oh, it's still loading. All these, you know what, man? I thought about making a few websites with a bunch of ads on it, but the performance of these are just, look at that, still loading. And it's from an advertisement site. There's your waterfall, still going. Oh, just finished. Just finished. So that was a total of, what was that? 100 seconds, basically. Oh, there we go. Anyway. Ooh, and 28 errors, too. Yeah, see. There we go. Okay, now we can get our charts. CCJ. DNN's not too bad. Industrial metals and minerals. Still loading ads on my other screen here. ARMN, look at that. That's beautiful. That's 3-4 days right there of good volume in ARMN. $3 billion, $4 billion company. AMRN. SodaStream. You've been bought out. Why are you up here? Because it's overbought? It's been overbought for like a month and a half since they've been bought out. BGI. Let's look at this AMRN one. That's an interesting one. Let's just click on it here. Man, so many resources. That's crazy. If I knew what I was talking about, that'd be fun to look at. AMRN right there. Look at that, from 4 to 14. Oh, this was that stock the other day that gapped up like 250%. I think we actually saw that, didn't we, guys? I think we saw that thing jump up. And it looks like it has nice basing behavior. So this would be high tight flag candidate. Oh, I didn't even type it right. AMRN. There we go. So this is a high tight flag candidate, and your buy point is over this 1464. Now, a high tight flag is a stock that moves up between 80 to 100+% within 3 weeks, and this did it in a day. So it went from 2 to 12. So obviously this thing greatly exceeded that. But the important part here is the flag, and if it can break this 1464, it may have another run. So there's a high tight flag scenario if you want to limit that risk. I don't recommend. Whoop. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. If you want to limit that risk, you can try to trade some options. And I don't usually recommend this, as you guys know. It's not something I generally do. But in a situation like this, where you basically have unlimited risk, because you could pull back here 50% in like 3 days, no problem, right? Like just no problem. This is a drug company. These are very, very volatile. So if you do want to limit your risk, you can try to trade options here, and maybe go out. If you're trading it just for this play, just for this next leg, which is I think what you do, then you're going to want to pick a target. There's no major way to pick a target though out of this. Not that I'm aware of. Every time I play high tide flags, I just play the price action. But so when you're playing options, you've got in this particular platform, it tells me the days to expiration, so 22 days. These are weekly options, the one in orange, 50, 85, 113. So pick your poison here. What you have to realize is the further out you go, the more you pay in premium, but you also gain more time. So it just depends how you want to play it. So let's say you go to November. You're gonna, how this is gonna work is it's 14.05 right now. So if you buy the least risky in terms of premium is going to be this $12 one. I'll show you how that works. So what you do is you take this $12 and you add, let's say you pay the full 360 plus 360. So right now you're paying an option for this stock like it's worth $15.60. So you're paying $1.60 a premium. Let's say it's worth $14 even, right? Let's just call it $14. You're paying 15.6, so this thing needs to go $1.50 higher for you to break even. Okay, just for you to break even. Now, if you were to go out further than that, after this 14, you go 14 plus 2.67. Now it's 16.66. Needs to go up $2.6 for you to break even. So in this situation, I probably would play this deep in the money call, because you're not really trying to get. You want to maintain a healthy price basis. Now, something is going to happen here. You're not going to get as much gain out of this as you would this, but the goal here is to minimize risk, not to maximize gain. That's the whole goal of something like this. So say this thing does run today or tomorrow. I mean, it may. This thing looks pretty good. I mean, there's very, very little selling. There's a little bit of profit taking. I mean, the thing just went up 400%. That's to be expected by some traders, but your longer term investors are picking at this, and you can see what it's doing right there. So, let's say this thing goes up here to $20, which is great. Going by that same simple math, you got 12 plus 365, 15. So then you're looking at something that's worth 20 minus 1565, 20 minus 1565. Whoops. $4.35. So you're looking at approximately a 30% bump. So not sure if that's a huge gainer in terms of, and that's if you buy it now. So that's actually, you'd be better performing there just buying the stock. So these options are just priced out of this world, it looks like right now, which makes sense. But anyway, if this were a normal situation, that would be a way to play it. But I don't know if that's really worth it. You'll probably get a lower price. You're probably not going to pay $365 for that. Someone here paid $330. I don't know when that was, but that's a way you can play that on a very, very volatile asset. But and also limit your risk, because your risk is limited to that $365, right? And so that gets you basically 100 shares. So if you wanted 100 shares of this stock, you'd pay $1,392 for that, and you'd have all that on risk on the table. When you're buying this option here, you're only going to have that $365 of risk. So even if it goes to zero, you're only risking $365 instead of putting $1,400 to work up here. So, and if you got that $1,400 to work and let's say it goes down by a third, then you lose 500, or what was that? No, that's 600 something bucks. 600 something bucks if this goes down by a third there. So anyway, you can pick your poison there, but that's the potential for a high tide flag. Anything you have something that goes up 100% in a couple of weeks, you need to keep an eye on it. All right, what's down today? Let's take a look at what's down. Hertz is down today. Wow, fell apart there. Look at that. The past few days just fell apart, not coming back. We got YY, Solar Fund, whatever INSG is. Exactly, Eli. Only 100% risk. That's it. That's it. UVE, WHD. WHD. Man. Get with the program, WHD. Look at that. Q's up 0.75%, so that's really good. That's a pretty brutal to the end of the day yesterday. I actually saw this, and it was up really high, and I was getting kind of happy. And then I saw an article said the Fed said that some assets are overvalued and it sold off. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah, that's fun. We'll need to see if we sell off again today. We've had a lot of sell-offs here recently. I guess not too many. I guess not, but it's curling higher. Don't let it get you down. Alright, Quad used, Tilroy, Cyber, New. One of these days, New's going to do something. I don't know when. I don't know how, but I liked it based on this action, so I put it on my watch list here, and then it only pops up on these days when it's already gone down about 30%. Just continues to go down about 30%. That's normalized, right? That's good for an IPO to always be down 30%. TTD. Look at that. Boom, round over, boom, up. Very interesting action. There's our AMRN. I'm just going to put an alert up here, actually. DocU bottom buy? Oh, no, let's find out. Ooh. Maybe, huh? This sell-off isn't too bad at all. Kind of an interesting, call it the laying down boobies pattern, if you will. I want to get my volume back. There we go. There's my average volume. I don't really need that one anymore. There we go. So let's see. Since here we have a lot of selling, more selling, gap down with more selling, lots of selling, huge selling candle on that little one. And then it dries up. So yeah, nothing too horrible. Yeah, I guess let's see how it goes over the next week or two. Whoops. It's not TradingView, Randy. So yeah, maybe it'll have these, these big oscillations at the bottom. We've seen these in the past, Eli, these larger oscillations at the lows. Sometimes it's hard to hold on to. But yeah, in terms of when it could come back to the 68 level, Yeah, possibly though. I don't mind it that much. There's definitely some profit taking here though. So a little bit more light volume action I think would be good. I'm not sure if I have Docu up here. Yeah, I'll throw it up here. Who cares? Really, Tesla? What's it doing? We got 68. And Docu's not too bad. Going back to 68 by the end of the year. That's not bad. Tesla down again. It's doing okay. Its volume's calmed down a little bit. That's encouraging. I mean, look at this garbage. This is what new trading news gets you. that's the that's the here, you want to trade stocks? Learn by trading that chart on news. I mean, there's a gap once a week, and a rather large one. Quite frankly, some of the ugliest charting I've ever seen in my life there. Yeah, right? I agree, Eli. I agree. I wonder what its short float is. Let's look up FinViz. Watch this increase to 50% of the float. Still 25% of the float. Man, they're just not letting this thing go. This thing's got to go. What's it high? About 400, 390. You have to go to a fucking 475 before they start covering this thing. Look at that 5-year sales growth rate. How are they mad at that? I mean, come on. That's not some fluff company. They push cars. Not like Enron where you can, Enron, I think it was pretty simple to Enron is pretty simple to kind of FUD the sales numbers on an oil company where everything goes through a tanker. But come on, Tesla, they got 20 cameras sitting out of their plant every day. Monthly? Yeah, looks good. Wow, look at that. Look at last month. That's crazy. Huge green volume all the way back down. You don't know where that volume came in though. ANTM. Oh, Anthem. Okay. Um, and C at 70. Oh. Well, I think a good stop loss here is probably down here at that 260 level. It's been supported here a couple of times. It's underneath the recent high. Um, but if you start seeing, so you had a big, hold on. So here's the thing. I haven't really talked on this a bunch. So usually when I'm going to look into buying a stock like this, where's my, here we go. I'll usually go to IBD and I'll do the stock checkup on it. I want to make sure it's in a stock that's in a good industry group that's growing, that institutions want, all kinds of stuff like that, all kinds of cool stuff. So I don't know, that's not it, is it? Oh, AN. I put Auto Home. That's the wrong one. ANTM. Here we go. Okay, so I'll make sure it's in a good industry group. IBD is always a good resource to get. You can, in one screen here, you pretty much have almost everything you need to know. Managed healthcare services through blah blah blah. And okay, industry. This is what I wanted to look at here. The industry group rank is 20 out of 197. So that's actually really good. That's actually really good. Your EPS growth rate's pretty good. Last 3 quarters EPS growth rate isn't good. The typical thing here with IBD, if you get involved, is they say you don't want to buy anything with more than red 8 dots at all. And I think this is on the cusp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with those combined, 7, and then 8 with those 2 yellow combined. So this is on the cusp. It doesn't mean it's not going to work, okay? But I think the main thing you want to look at is it a growing company? Is it something that I do growth stocks, Kevin. Okay, I do growth stocks. I don't really harp on these really large industries. If they're in favor, I'll look at them absolutely. And the fact that it's ranked 20th and it's ranked 7th is pretty good. So yeah, it's probably not a bad purchase there. But the whole point of that saying is that in a growth stock, which is what we look at, you pretty much anticipate it's going to move once it breaks once it reaches the breakout point. And Anthem can do that too. So can Citigroup. But as you can see by the sales numbers there, it's not really kind of a top tier growth name, if you will. Okay, so composite rating of 89 is pretty good. You want to have over 85. Relative strength down here, it's at 87, which is also pretty good. So, all right, yeah, it's doing a couple things right. Doing a couple things right there. So yeah, maybe put your stop there. You need to have a max stop loss, but I would probably put a stop up under these levels, under those two, because you can see it rallied, found support there and rallied again. And C at 74.5. This one's a little trickier. So first things first, you typically always have a maximum stop loss, or you should always have a maximum stop loss, and that's usually about 8%. So right about there is 69.01. That's kind of your stop bleeding level right there. Okay, that's basically your stop bleeding level. So that's pretty much probably where you should put the stop loss on this one. I think is at 8%. There's no major area of support right here. And actually, this is probably, you have just a level of lows going higher, which is fine. This trend line could be supported, and hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll come down to maybe the $70 level and won't hit that 8%. But it's in the middle of forming a cup right now. We'll see if it finishes it off. But I don't like buying this deep in the base unless you buy deeper in the base, kind of like where in Docu we were looking at earlier, right? Where Docu, pretty obvious little curve, and we came back to a low, right? I don't mind so much those entries as long as it's pretty apparent. Citibank, though, here you're right in the middle of this area. I mean, you go from here all the way down to here, and you're actually a little higher than the middle. So I don't mind getting in lower. I don't mind getting in higher towards the breakout, because if it fails, you can at least see the failed breakout. In the middle, it's really hard to trade, because look at all that choppy action within your maximum stop loss range. There's a lot of choppy action there. It's really hard to get a beat on price action. So as odd as it sounds, it's not much lower, but it's about 3%, 3% lower, I guess. But I would much rather you buy off of this big breakout day. And like I said, it's not the end of the world, but so maybe you can make it a little tighter, I guess. So there's your max stop loss at that 8%. You can calculate that exactly if you want to do that exactly, but maybe you can arbitrarily put it here at $70, kind of under just where it started to rally. See where that high volume came in both of those 2 days, right? And then that would cut your loss a little bit to like 6.5%. And Eli's showing a different stop. Let's take a. He's saying 269. Why am I so low with my stop? Well, so I'm assuming here that Kevin wants to let this run for a while, and I don't want him to be I don't want to be arbitrarily stopped out, and that's 5%. That's well within maximum stop loss limits, so it's a reasonable expectation. And you're saying 269.19, which is basically the low here. Low there's 268.87. So here's the thing: is it's already kind of broken out. This is your breakout point right there, and it's already kind of living above it, which is fine. But it could easily pull back in, kind of like what we saw with a few other names. That's kind of why I was recommending here, because there's a pretty clear double bottom down here being supported, and I would go just underneath that. That's kind of the rationale behind that one, Eli. So, all right, guys, I got to get out of here, Eli. I know I messaged you earlier. Let's do it tomorrow, if you don't mind, during this live stream here. So tomorrow's Friday, kind of a crappy day to do it, but let's do it just to do it. If it fails 269, you'd expect a cup in a base case. I usually don't go that in depth, Eli, personally. So here's the thing: is it's coming out of a big cup. I was a little zoomed in there, but there's the bigger picture. It already has a big cup and a minor handle, and it's trying to break out from that. So it may form another minor cup here or something, but I don't know. I think this is the story, and it really should start to go. And if it pulls back in, kind of undercuts these levels, I think the pattern, it'll probably yeah, I don't know, but it's in a general uptrend. So there's another thing too right there, is that being in a general uptrend, it really shouldn't undercut any of these other lows there. I don't have any moving averages up here. Yeah, so that's kind of how I was viewing that right there. But if it pulls back and you can watch the action down here too if it gets down here to see what it is. But at 8% stop loss, you can't give it a lot of leeway. You just, oh, this is a 5% stop loss, so you have a little bit more leeway. If you were to go to your 8%, you're looking down there towards 252 and change.